We kind of had like a pseudo date, and he proceeded to play me like 15 songs. It was like the most excruciating 35 minutes of my life. And obviously I was trying to get laid, so I was like, this is so good. Hi, I'm SpillTab, and I'm playing Get to Know Me with TNM. Describe your new album, Angie, in 4 emojis. It would be the woman in the little red dress doing the disco, or like the flamenco, and then it'd be the man doing the disco moves. And then it'd be the crying emoji, but the like one that's like not, it's just the one that's like, you know what I mean? And then it would maybe also be like the lightning bolt emoji. Yeah. What is one lyric that you love from your new album? It's called Wet Veneer. Yeah, it's probably like the verse lyrics. It's, I'm gonna break apart the tiles with kisses, squeeze my limbs in all the black abysses. I thought that was really fun. Very dark, but very mysterious. Who has been your biggest musical inspiration for this album? Ooh, I think just due to like longevity, probably Bon Iver, just because I've been a mega fan for a very long time. And I just love his use of like experimental kind of textures and distortion and like really esoteric lyrical composition, and all of that to me is a massive inspiration. What instrument did you love incorporating on this album? Okay, so my friend plays the trumpet, and I was sort of obsessed with the idea of having more like orchestral or like jazzy components on the album. So we had our homie Danny pull up with his trumpet, and he like ripped a trumpet solo on Wet Veneer, said track that I like the lyrics to, and added some trumpet across like 3 other tracks. So that was fun. I've never fucked around with a trumpet like that, and it was cool to find out. Tell us the story behind your name, SpillTab. It was the summer of 2019. And I started making music with my friend David, who I went to high school with, but we were sort of sworn enemies because he was in band and I was in choir. But we were friends after I graduated high school. And we started making music together that summer. And we were drinking a lot of alcohol that summer because we were going to a lot of shows. And his bartender friend told him about this concept of a spill tab, which is when you spill a drink at a bar and the bartender gives you a free drink, they account for it on a spill tab, but they also just give their friends free drinks on the spill tab. So I thought that was very cute, sort of community-based free drinks and alcoholism, so that was nice. What is one tip about the music industry you wish you learned when starting out? Okay, so probably the biggest one, which I was told time and time again, even before I kind of started doing stuff full time, but like listen to your gut. I think there were many moments that I, in part, like also wanted to believe that the people around me that were like much older and had been in the industry for 20, 30 years like knew better than I did in terms of what like the perfect rollout would be, or like what this and that would be. And I think at the end of the day, the songs that I felt the most passionate about kind of correlated with the songs that did the best. That taught me a really valuable lesson, and it was just to like follow my gut and follow my heart, which is corny, but true. What does your pre-show ritual look like? I think it depends. I think when I'm on the road for a long time and there's a lot of shows in a row, I have to like really take care of my body because I will just disintegrate if I don't. So probably just like a London fog in the morning, a healthy lunch, a light dinner so I'm not yakking on stage because I get nervous and I'm dancing around a lot. And yeah, just like being around friends and kind of absorbing the energy of a good dynamic, which is why I think it's really important to have good people on tour with you. What is one performance tip that Sabrina Carpenter gave you when you went on tour together? I think she didn't specifically say this to me, but I think I absorbed her commitment to taking care of her instrument, which is her voice. She's an insane singer, but she also had days where she was like on vocal rest, or she had days where she was like a bit less around and she was just resting and taking care of her body. And she's just sort of really aware that there's like a direct connection between her being conscious of her body and her performing really well. So that was something that I learned from her. What is one thing you must bring on tour with you? One thing that I must bring on tour with me is my fucking 7-step skincare routine. There is just no way in hell I can go to bed without my 3 serums, my fucking toner, my moisturizer. But dude, that stuff really helps me feel like myself when I'm on the road, and just like makes me feel alive and hydrated, as one must be. You love to crochet. What's your favorite thing you've made? Okay, it's my favorite thing I've made, not because it's good, but because it's so hideous that it's hilarious. I made my bassist a balaclava, but I got the dimensions so wrong, and it's just like, it looks like he looks like a submarine diver. Like, it's so massive, and it's like ginormous, but then the face hole is very small, so it's just this kind of like, his little face is here, but it's like a fucking massive balaclava, and he looks really funny in it. What are the top 3 apps on your phone? It is Instagram and Gmail, because you know I'd be on the emails typing away with my little fingers. Google Maps. I love Google Maps. I love a little Google Maps. I love like saving places that I go, that I have a system where it's like, I'll save a heart for like good food, and then a star for good location, and then like I'll do like lists. Like, I'm so deep on Google Maps. So Google Maps. If you could go viral for one thing aside from your music, what would it be? Honestly, maybe for like tripping and eating shit on accident or something like that, or just like falling off a table at a party or like something like that. Open your notes app, scroll and read a random one to us. It's just gonna be like my notes app with all my passwords in it. Here's my packing list for when I went to Europe. Number 1, sleep drug for the plane. I think I had Mexican Xanax, and I was like trying to remember that I had it somewhere, so I was like, don't remember to grab that. Passport with a capital S at the end, passports, because I was trying to get my shit right between Europe and America to not get border controlled. Plug switches, you gotta have your adapters, straight up cash, pedals, and a guitar tuner. Who is your biggest celebrity crush? Paul Mescal. That man is so fine. I don't know. Every time I see his face, I'm like, pfft. What is your worst date night experience? When I was living in New York, I went to Blind Barber, which is a bar in the East Village, and this is not their fault, but it was where this happened. But I met a man, and he was very sweet, and we kind of had like a pseudo date that night. We were just hanging out, and then went back to his place, and he proceeded to play me like 15 songs, like unreleased, like guitar recorded songs that he had made. And I'm like open-minded. I'm like, these could be sick. Like, you live in New York, like many people are talented. It was like the most excruciating 35 minutes of my life. It was like, why are you playing me your entire discography right now? And it's just like very ill-advised guitar recorded music. It was, and obviously I was trying to get laid. So I was like, this is so good. I was like, you're so good at this. If you can bring one French tradition to America, what would it be? It would definitely be like the concept of sitting at a cafe for 4 hours with friends yapping. That is like a classic French activity, I would say. But yeah, there was a whole kind of discourse about third spaces a while ago. I don't know if that's still kind of circulating in the ethos, but yeah, the idea that like America doesn't really have that. Like, it's not really socially acceptable to get like, well, first of all, there are no $3 coffees anymore. It's a $7 coffee. But in France, you can get an espresso for €2, €3, and you can sit there, and it's okay to sit there for like however long you want to and just hang out with friends. And you can go from like afternoon into dinner and then get like a drink, and it's this whole kind of culture around just vibing and enjoying the company of your community. And we don't really have that out here, and it's tough. And and people look at you weird if you're sitting there for too long and you've only ordered one thing and you're like, can I live? Yeah, they're like, get the fuck out. I'm like, okay, fine, I will. And what's your favorite French swear word? Putain de merde. It's actually 2 swear words, kind of side by side. So it's kind of swear word squared. So it's quadruple the essence of the swear word. You can use it when you're like, if you're like zipper stuck and you're like, putain de merde, you're like trying to get the zipper up, or like if you're on the phone and someone's giving you bad news, you're like, putain de merde, It's a catch-all phrase, which I like. Hi, I'm Spilltab, and I just played Get to Know Me with TNM.